All right, so move on to the next segment. I'll be sharing my thoughts on Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington, now officially taking place at UFC 296. So the news broke out last night that in the final UFC pay-per-view in the calendar year 2023, Leon Edwards will be defending his welterweight championship against Colby Covington, and the main event of UFC 296 will take place in Las Vegas, Nevada in December. That will be the final pay-per-view of the year for UFC in the calendar year 2023. So I believe this is actually the best fight to currently make in the welterweight division right now, with Leon Edwards defending his welterweight title against Colby Covington. You look at the UFC rankings right now in the welterweight division, Colby Covington is actually the second ranked fighter in the welterweight division, so he deserves a title shot against Leon Edwards. And I think this is going to be a good fight. This actually has been months in the making. After Leon Edwards beat Kamaru Usman in his last fight to successfully retain his welterweight championship, moments after that fight, Colby Covington was calling for his shot to get a welterweight championship fight against Leon Edwards. And matter of fact, Leon Edwards actually really wasn't interested in that fight to begin with. But the higher-ups of UFC, Dana White, granted Colby Covington's wish, and now this is the fight we will be getting by the end of the calendar year 2023, when Leon Edwards defends his welterweight championship against Colby Covington. So heading into that fight, Leon Edwards is currently on a 3-fight winning streak, defeating the great Kamaru Usman 2 out of the 3 of those fights on his 3-fight winning streak. Both times beating Kamaru Usman when the welterweight championship was on the line. Beating Kamaru Usman to get the belt, obviously, and then beating him by decision early in 2023. Then you look at Colby Covington. I think this is really going to be interesting when that time comes, how his performance is going to be in the octagon, because Colby Covington has not competed in a UFC octagon since March of 2022 when he got that decision win over George Masvidal. That was the last time we saw Colby Covington in the octagon. So it's been well over a year since Colby Covington has gotten in a fight in the UFC. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how that fight plays out when Leon Edwards defends his welterweight championship against Colby Covington. But I do believe that this could be the opportunity of a lifetime for Colby Covington. He is in his late 30s, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. He does not have much time left in the UFC. He has never been a UFC world champion. He did, and if you guys think I see him with a belt. Well, he's been an interim welterweight champion in the past, never the actual welterweight champion. So it could be interesting to see if Colby Covington wins his first world title against Leon Edwards at UFC 296. Time will tell, but I think that is another marquee fight that you can add on to the calendar year 2023 in terms of big fights throughout combat sports, when Leon Edwards will defend his title against Colby Covington in December of 2023. So those are my thoughts on Leon Edwards and Colby Covington officially being announced for UFC 296.